Hi, and welcome to week 8 of your web development course. This week, we'll touch on JavaScript and try to improvise a bit as we learn more about this third and final pillar of the web. JavaScript, as you might know, is everywhere in today's web development world. It is the foundation of front end web development and is the key ingredient in frameworks like React.js, Angular, and Vue.js. JavaScript can also help create solid backends with platforms like Node.js. It runs on desktop applications like Slack, Atom, Spotify, and it runs on mobile phones as progressive web applications. In short, JavaScript is everywhere and it is for good reasons. For starters, when compared to other languages like C and Java, JavaScript is generally easier to learn. And when we say easier, we mean in terms of how quickly you can go from being a JavaScript novice to someone who can actually make a living writing professional, high quality JavaScript code. So, in that sense, it is more accessible than some other languages like C and Java. JavaScript is also a fun and rewarding language, which is especially important when you're just getting started in software development. The community support is very good, so when you get stuck, there's a high chance that the problem and its solution already exists on the web. Now that we've gotten a bird's eye view of JavaScript, let's get into the more technical details. JavaScript was created to add life to web pages. Just like HTML and CSS, JavaScript is written in plain text files with a .js extension. As previously mentioned, JavaScript can be used to accomplish many useful operations on the front end, such as validation of forms, alerting users, storing temporary data, and performing calculations, to name just a few. Apart from the name itself, JavaScript has no relation to Java. Beginners often get confused between the two languages. Remember that Java is an entirely different language made for a different purpose, although you will still find it running on certain websites' backends. Lastly, before we look at today's itinerary, remember that JavaScript, just like HTML and CSS, is a vast language. We'll only be learning parts of it that are relevant to us today, so we'll list some good resources at the end if you'd like to learn more. What are we going to do this week? First, we'll look at JavaScript basics and then we'll move on to basic programming features such as variables, functions, and operators. And then we'll move to handling JavaScript outputs, selecting DOM elements in JavaScript, and lastly, JavaScript events. The wait is finally over. Let's get right to it.